Well, yeah, the only guys who have beaten Daniel in Salt Mine so far were Qualifier 1, Wahvey and Chronic beat him. And in the upper bracket of this very event, Evoh beat him. Now, he's already avenged 2 of those losses. And now he has a chance to avenge his only other loss and also send himself into the grand final as well. So I back into I think Daniel's going to avenge his only other Salt Mine 4 loss right now, and we're going to get the final that everybody's kind of wanting to see. Daniel versus Diaz have not played each other yet in Salt Mine 4. But I'll tell you what, though. If you're thinking it's going to be easy, think again, because Evoh was unreal yesterday. He made Diaz doubt his aerial offense. That's not something anyone else has been able to do in this year.
We shall see, shall we? He comes in from the upper bracket. Get another best of 7 to go through to that grand finals. Play against Diaz, who is on unbelievable form right now. Daniel crushed his last match, but now he is up against the hot hand.
This is the question. Can Evoh do it against Daniel? Can he do it against Salt Mine Daniel, the defending champion? Because historically, this has been a very Daniel-favored matchup. More recently, Evoh's had some wins to talk about. But all time, Daniel has got a crazy win record against Evoh. Kind of felt like big brother against little brother when they were playing. Evoh does have a lot more confidence in himself as of late, though, and I think that's going to be extremely important today.
Evoh does have full control.
Oh, wow.
He's right down the middle. How often do you see a dribble play down the middle, no real angle added, actually work out?
Yeah, he just made enough of an angle at the very last second there, just with that little dip down underneath the ball. That's all he needed to slide the ball past Daniel. And Daniel, with the reactive defense, has not had a good time in the early game here.
Oh dear.
He's just missed the ball as he tries to take it back into the corner. Is there perhaps a little bit of doubt in Daniel's mind after thinking that this is the guy who beat him earlier on this week, on Wednesday? Evoh sent Daniel to the lower bracket. Now they meet in the single elim top 4, so lower bracket is no longer a factor. But that win, the most recent win, did still go to Evoh.
Evoh has stuck with it. He's doing a good job of almost baiting Daniel in here. But Daniel has decided this ball is now mine. Evoh just lost too much control and just plopped it onto Daniel's hood.
Yeah, he tried to demo Daniel a couple times there. Daniel knew about it, got away from him, and slots the open net. Evoh is extremely successful with the bumps yesterday. I wouldn't be surprised if we see more of those in this matchup. He is very good at spotting openings to get bumps on opponents at this level. Evoh immediately up against Daniel's air dribble. Great recovery as well, but Daniel's coming back at him again. This time, slow plays on the ground, flicks high, and Evoh reads it the entire way. What a clear. After the ball bounces down on the line, he could have easily own goaled that. Daniel's still coming forward in offense, but Evoh stops him again. Are you joking? He makes it 3 in a row of unbelievable saves.
And out of all of that, Daniel's the one that has to retreat. He's going to go again. He's not got Evoh on his goal line, but Evoh's trying to stick with it. If Evoh scores here, it will be one of the most ridiculous goal sequences I've ever seen. How is he even still in this play? Daniel now with air and superiority. Got a couple of resets and he puts it behind Evoh.
Eventually, Daniel breaks him down. Somehow, Evoh only got credited with 2 saves for that entire exchange. I feel like there were way more than that.
They were too close together. Like,
yeah, they happened so quickly.
Too many shots.
We need to be able to get rid of that cooldown for matches like this. We need to be able to count those separate touches as saves, or maybe the cooldown needs to be just a little bit smaller. That's a great 50 by Daniel. But you'll have to back out of the position anyway. Evoh advancing down the line. Had the option to go up the wall there, instead chose to play on the ground. That might be his main angle of attack here, but Daniel has dispossessed him and scored again.
Yeah, Evoh just completely underestimated how quickly Daniel can keep this going. Thought, okay, if Daniel gets past me, I can at least get the follow-up challenge, but Daniel just stormed ahead. He's got the 3-2 lead. Evoh has been forced on the back foot for an awful lot of this. That kickoff does not help matters. Very awkward for both players. Daniel chooses to shoot. And again, that was so well kept out the first time, but everyone's got a breaking point.
Yeah, it's tough here. Evoh has to play this so perfectly. Daniel shot it just underneath the crossbar, so Evoh would have needed to wait even longer, let the ball go halfway into the goal, and then make the save if he wants to crossbar pinch that. As is, he just got a clean touch, and the ball dumps down on the goal line. But that's a super difficult save to make. The fact that Daniel hasn't hit it absolutely bar down makes the shot harder to save, so really good placement by Daniel.
Yeah, Daniel does a great job of just sort of staying in the play, not getting frustrated. He's almost got demoed. But Evoh couldn't find it. Now, actually, Daniel on the recovery didn't hit it with the bumper of his car, but he got Evoh to jump, and Evoh scrambles at the back of the goal.
Well, Evoh, like we expected, has been very bumpy. He's tried to catch Daniel out there, and he was probably just shocked that Daniel missed the initial open net. I think it was open, but Daniel hit the post, and Evoh wasn't ready mentally for that to be a factor. Just kind of threw himself at the post and had no chance of recovering. He's missed the mid boost there. This is not looking good for Evoh in game one.
No, Evoh has been very skittish on a lot of these plays. Phenomenal defensive showing earlier on, but it was one little moment where he's got the flick again. This time Daniel was ready for it. Not caught out like he was for that first goal. And Daniel now powering down to the other side of the wall. Evoh's going to go around the world. Daniel sticks with it. Now Evoh, first touch. Daniel straight to him.
Daniel hasn't had too much defending to do in this match, but what he has done extremely well is challenge in the midfield. Evoh still taking his time, still focusing on the ground game, but just gets completely shut down. No saves necessary. Daniel decides to take a more proactive approach.
I feel like I've not seen any of these work today. Just the instant challenge on the floor. I feel like that is the very first one that somebody's managed to get the clean win. And Daniel's starting to run away with this. 4 goals required, 1 minute 22. And this is exactly the sort of Daniel that we saw not too long ago. Evoh trying to find something, but Daniel's just so proactive at the moment. He does not want this ball in his side of the field.
And Evoh's giving away possession again here. Really difficult game for him. Daniel's completely controlled it. It's worth mentioning that the last time these two played, Daniel won 2 games at the start of the series. It did go well initially for him, and then Evoh was able to win 4 straight in order to send Daniel to the lower bracket, which is insane to think about. And no one ever would have predicted Evoh to be the one winning 4 in a row in that match. But you might have to do that again. Daniel's taking game 1, 46 seconds to go. Evoh decides to call FF.
Yeah, probably the right time for that as well. I mean, Daniel, I think, played very well, but that's not the Evoh we saw yesterday. That was maybe 40% of what we got. He just started well, and then as we hit the mid-game, just couldn't get the right decisions down, was really struggling with a few plays. And it was the same sort of thing that Daniel had earlier on against Chronic, where he was scoring, but surely a goal against Chronic should have been more difficult. I feel like a lot of these goals against Evoh should have been more difficult.
Yeah, he definitely didn't play up to his level that we saw yesterday. Evoh, that is. Daniel, as we already knew coming into this, is in fine form today. Fresh off a 4-0 win against Chronic. That tells you all you need to know about how well he has been playing. So if Evoh's going to win this, he has to play close to his best. He can't have another off game like this where he's just playing a little bit too loose, I would say. That would be the main way I would describe it. He just didn't have control. And you need to have control here. You can't be giving Daniel everything he wants in the matchup. The main thing, like you mentioned, you've not seen a lot of those rush challenges work because players have been so aware of them. They've been ready to outplay them. Evoh wasn't even ready for that, though. Daniel was just challenging him early every time, and it was working. So Evoh has to stop that, first of all, if he wants to win this matchup.
Very different kickoff as well from Daniel, who is just powering straight through. Wants to try and maintain momentum. With players up, Daniel realizes the fact, so let's go back down, let's go up, let's go for the roller coaster. But Evoh gets enough contact, again chases down that demo, and for the second or third time, Daniel's escaped it.
Yeah, Daniel's done such a good job avoiding those bumps and demos. Evo's been a bit sneaky with them, but he'll need to be even more sneaky if he wants to make them work. Daniel testing Evo's defense again. Evoh with a fake clear. Does take control. So little boost though. Daniel trips him up and takes the ball right off his head. That was like taking candy from a baby. As Daniel continues to keep the ball well and truly in Evo's half. Just making life so difficult for him, like he did for Chronic. Anytime Evoh steps into no man's land, Daniel hits the ball over his head. Makes him think twice about advancing.
It's just the pace Daniel can keep up with very little boost used. I do like the fake over there from Evoh. Daniel was kind of looking towards trying to steal the 100 on the far corner. He does still get it. Something a bit different, but Evoh can't afford a mistake here. He is the one with the boost deficit. Only 40 to his name. Oh, that's the demo, and maybe not what you expected it. Daniel respawns. It's right down the middle. He goes early. He got the save. And now it's on the recovery. Daniel places the wall.
Well, Evoh had options there. Decided to try and 50-50 it in. Daniel just went straight for the ball and countered it. Now Evo's got a wide open net after stopping Daniel at the other side of the pitch. Surely this is it. It is going to be 1-0. That was a cagey opening minute and 30 seconds. And Evoh will be very glad to finally see a goal lead.
Yeah, Daniel had possession of that up until 3 minutes 40 left on the clock. Once Evoh got it, he found his spots well. Again, Daniel having the better of the kickoff. Going for the 50, and
wow.
That's not 50. That's 100-0. You ain't getting nothing.
Yeah, he's just so convincing with it. Daniel with the flip reset. And then he really made it look like he was going to carry that ball into the backboard for the rebound. But the last second, he let go of boost, let the ball come in front of him for the dunk. And Evoh did not see that one coming. Now, even though Evoh did beat Diaz yesterday, he did get mind-gamed a lot in the matchup. Diaz was faking him out a ton with his aerial plays. So be on the lookout for Daniel to see similar success if he continues to mind-game as well. Oh dear, Evo's completely missed there. That's just wide open. Then it's too easy for Daniel again.
That's just cheap. Evoh can't afford that. It's a reasonably easy ball to play as well. Just mistimed where the ball was. Caught out by the bounce, and Daniel's not going to have any issues with that sort of play.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, Evoh knew it was going to be difficult coming into this, but yeah, seeing the misplays doesn't make it a whole lot easier on his mental. Daniel, much harder to mind game in that instance. Make sure to get a solid part of the ball, and then plays the shadow defense on the near post perfectly, bumps Evoh away from the play. That's going to give Daniel 100 boost. Not a lot of angle in his attack, and Evo's nearly beamed it again. I mean, this is ropey defending from Evo's end. He's going to need to be better if he's got any chance of winning this match.
Daniel, on the other hand, gets the save and recovers onto the backboard so he can just keep the ball exactly where he wants it. Cuts inwards. I've almost expected the backflip there to try and pop that behind Evoh. He's aiming for the car, but that bump is very, very awkward to actually land, because even if you hit it, the other car's just going to land on the floor anyway. It doesn't move.
And Daniel might have been thinking about the full pitch air dribble there, but you can see how difficult it is to get that first touch perfect. The ball did bounce a bit too low. Really good fake challenge though. Daniel just hiding behind the ball as Evoh thought he was challenging. Like I said, just gave the ball away. Good defense to the back corner boost though. Evoh able to contest the midfield. It's a very low scoring game too. A game where one goal can matter even more than they always do.
It is quite impressive though for Evoh, where again it's been ropey for the defense, but it's only 2 goals for Daniel. So even with Evoh struggling on occasion, he's done the main part. He's made sure he hasn't conceded. It might be about to be it is. Daniel has got that every time. What a flick, what a bait-in to make the man jump.
Just perfect timing. That's all Daniel needed, just perfect timing there. Had the ball on a string as usual with the dribble. And as soon as Evoh committed in reverse, Daniel puts it over his head. Now, I did have a quick look at their all-time record as Daniel scores a kickoff goal. Evoh almost able to get there, couldn't get back. All-time, the series record between these two is 8-2 in Daniel's favor. Evoh's win just 2 days ago was only the second time that he ever beat Daniel in a 1v1 series. Before that, Daniel was 8-1, with 2 of those wins coming in Salt Mine qualifiers. So he does have the head-to-head matchup very, very much in his favor. Perfect finish. Daniel makes it 5-1, and what was a close game is now a forfeit, and Daniel's up 2-0.
It's just perpetual motion for Daniel once he gets going. Both, you know, the way that he plays each individual goal and how he's scoring these goals. You just can't afford to let him move. And with Daniel having such great control over these kickoffs right now, Evoh is just struggling. He's on the back foot straight away for every single one of these plays. And whilst he managed to avoid, after that second goal, you know, anything going in for a while, it doesn't take much for Daniel to get that play going his way.
Yeah, that really is the issue for Evoh. I mean, it's been his play style this entire tournament, so I think he's going to keep doing this. He's not going to change it. He's not going to switch it up unnecessarily. He's been the most defensively minded player in the North American main event, and it's been working. It's got him into the semi-final through the upper bracket. Now, the issue here is that if you do play with a defensive play style, if you let your opponent come at you, then your mistakes are all goals against you. It's not like you're making a mistake in the midfield losing possession. You're making a mistake in offense. Okay, now the opponent's got boost. No, you're just getting scored on if you make a mistake. So it's one of the reasons why most players don't want to play like this. It's just really, really hard to do.
I mean, in North America, only one name really pops into my mind. That's Lion Blaze. Like, to this level. And even then, very difficult. Lion Blaze found it to go the whole way. Because it's so difficult to play this style consistently, because you are basically saying to your opponent, are you peaking? And usually somebody that has made the grand finals, made the semi-finals, yes, they're peaking, and they can take advantage of these plays.
Yeah, it's exactly right. And if Evoh is going to get a win here, I think he probably has to stick to this style. I don't think that Daniel will lose 4 games out of 5 that potentially remain to Evoh's all-out offense. I think Evoh just has to iron out the mistakes. He has to play perfect Rocket League, essentially. Because if he can start to get consistent stops, if he can get saves and counterattacks to work. Think about yesterday, how many counterattacks he had against Diaz. I think there was one game where pretty much every goal Evoh scored was a counterattack. If he could start to bait Daniel in and score counters on him, then Daniel starts to doubt himself. Daniel starts to question his plays.
Well, he's got the straight down the middle play yet again. Daniel, caught by this earlier on, he avoids the bump. Evoh's going to retreat, at least for now. Over to the wall, 100 boost. Will Daniel dive in? No, he's going to let Evoh play it. Evoh did play that pretty low to the ground, though, so it gave Daniel options.
Daniel is still feeling very aggressive in the matchup.
Oh, this is every time.
Confidence all-time high.
He keeps trying that demo.
Yeah, he does. So Daniel knows it. He knows about that. He knows that Evoh's willing to invest all 100 of his boost to get a demo if he feels like there's an opening for it. Daniel taking his time, again inserting himself in the play. Evoh gets a shot on target, but Daniel does save it. Another shot on net by Evoh. This one's barred down and in. Daniel thought it was hitting the crossbar flush, and it has just gone directly into the net.
Well, that's the first freebie in a long time for Evoh, and that's got to feel so good. Daniel has indeed made a mistake. Well, you can at least forgive a little bit, because, yeah, typically will just bounce straight out to you away from the goal. That one not, though, and now Evoh's got another open net to play with, and he will score. Brilliant start here for Evoh.
Just honestly perfect. This is what he needed. This is the chance. Evoh with another lead is the biggest lead he's had, which says a lot about how well Daniel's played so far. Like, can he get defensive stops? That's the question. Can he actually dispossess Daniel and threaten counterattacks? Because that's the big part of his game, which has been missing. So far, it remains missing as Daniel scores again.
It's the flip flicks that Daniel's got. These are automatic. It's not even like going in top corner. It's going off the post every single time. That's how good Daniel is at those flicks.
And he's just fully confident right now. Like, he's not pulling it back. He's not taking any power off it. Nope. He's going for it full power. And it's not the fastest flick in the world because he's, you know, got not a lot of momentum there, not a lot of boost, but it's easily fast enough from that range to go past the defender, even of Evoh's level. Almost halftime again. Another very low scoring game between these two. They've been playing a chess match in the midfield for the most part.
Yeah, but this now works for Evoh's play style. It's Daniel that's got to try and chase it. Evoh can take his time a little bit more, pick his battles.
True. Much easier as that defender in the matchup, the counter puncher in the matchup, when you've got your nose in front.
Right down the middle. He loves to go down the middle of these flicks, and it's worked. Oh, how has Daniel kept that out? And he's kept momentum
Insane.
as well. Evo's got to back away.
Absolutely insane. Daniel's all over him here, threatening a bump on the back wall. Now he has to retreat. Small pad pathing looking good though. Evoh again going straight down the middle. I'd love to see an air dribble bump on one of these because he's got the lineup for it, but as is, Daniel continues to get top shelf saves. And now here comes the aerial off the wall.
Yeah, this is a much better position than Daniel was in last time. Almost found his way through, but Evoh did recover. Now off the wall, Daniel's not got much angle. Might go for the car. Couldn't do that either. Evoh is taking his time, picking his spots. He's against another air dribble. This time, fast side! Evoh keeps it out.
What a save. That boost isn't spawning for him in time. Now he goes back for it after soft clearing the ball. Daniel taking his time with the approach. Letting the ball bounce one more time. Now he makes his move. Ground to air dribble reset. Dunk does not land. Evoh deflects it back corner and bumps Daniel as he leaves.
I'm sorry, that looked like a freestyler lobby for a little while. Just keep giving Daniel his go. Wait to see if he can make it work. But Evoh kept every single one of them out. 4 different attacks, 4 different stops. There's number 5. Daniel, not a good angle for him to play with this time around. He backs out. Realized it was a bit of a missed touch. And there's the flick. Evoh spots Daniel trying to turn.
Well, this is what we were waiting for. Evoh, 9 saves. Daniel, to be fair to him, has 8 saves. It's been a defensive masterclass between these two. One of the lowest scoring games we've seen all day. Will we have the floodgates open, and in the final minute though we go back to the kickoff, and no, we will not yet have the goal spam as Evoh holds on.
I love the way that Evoh goes about these kickoffs as well. He comes in just that little bit delayed and makes sure his car is turned back towards us as he goes for that wave dash landing. Daniel, oh he's doing everything! And it won't go in!
What a save by Evoh. Daniel trying to be as sneaky as possible. Flip reset, and then the wave dash bump in quick succession. And Evoh just watched it and dodged it. Still only up by 2 though. Daniel can make it a 1-goal game, but that shot won't do it. He was hoping Evoh pre-jumps. Evoh doesn't have anything to worry about. Daniel has to score right now. He has to hurry up as well. Time is running out. He's going for the air dribble. It doesn't get it. Daniel's held to just 1 goal in game 3, sorry. Evoh is not being swept.
I've got to see 1 goal in how many shots? 12 shots Daniel registered. The rate this was coming in, it might have even been higher. You know, and the game just was like, well, we can't keep taking these on.
Yeah.
That was unbelievable.
That's what we've been waiting for. That's exactly what he's been doing all week.
Who chooses this as a play style? Why would you do that to yourself?
Well, see, the thing is, like I said, I don't think he can win by playing Daniel's game. I don't think he can just go toe for toe with Daniel, being more aggressive. I think his main win condition is this defensive style and just trying to play perfectly. Because if he can play this defensive style and not make any silly mistakes, then yeah, he can win this. He can beat Daniel.
It's just
he can make Daniel doubt himself. But yeah, it seems like a silly idea. You're up against Daniel. Yeah, just play goalkeeper. Said no one ever. This is the first player who's ever tried this.
I mean, I'm going to become a top 1s player in the world by giving them as much possession of this ball as I possibly can.
Insane.
It's worked, and he's made this work so often that you can't question this anymore. But can it work at this end of the tournament, where so many defensive styles do tend to crumble? Oh. Daniel's got the first one. That's so big.
That's unreal. What a shot by Daniel. Left absolutely nothing up to chance there. He knew Evoh was back in his goal. He knew the shot had to be perfect, and it's exactly that.
Oh, Daniel went very central that. Evoh, decent amount of angle on that kickoff. He's turned around, and is that a little bit of a freebie? No, Evoh has that covered. Daniel sticking around with very little boost and realized that was not a risk worth taking.
Look how straight he is in the approach again. He does try to air dribble this time. Air dribble bump would make sense on these approaches. Daniel might be ready for it, but Evoh has so many times tried to flick that I think Daniel's probably conceded. The first time Evoh tries an air dribble bump from a straight dribble, Daniel's probably not going to be perfectly ready for it.
I just love how quickly Evoh can jump and then immediately realize, yeah, okay, this isn't it. I'm going to get back down. Doesn't really lose too much for it. This needs to go back corner. Bounce did not help Evoh's chances of that, and Daniel's worked very well from these angles.
Too good.
A couple of those earlier on.
Wow.
Once it hits that angle, Daniel cooks.
He ground pitched this as well. Why not? Open net from point blank range. Bit risky, I would say.
The tad.
The little baby ground pinch.
Those are the ones that go and hit the ceiling out of nowhere.
I would have loved to see that ball just absolutely fly into the net for no reason, just for Daniel to remind everyone who he is.
I don't think many people require much reminding at the moment. Maybe only him. Maybe after seeing 12 of his shots not go into the net in the last game, having 2 goals in the opening minute this time around will help him quite significantly. He's now coming out of the better of all of these exchanges. Not the best first touch, but Evoh did not want to challenge.
Evoh is very close to demoing Daniel in that previous exchange, but didn't get it. Daniel shrugged it off and stayed on the ball. Daniel in a bit of trouble here, though. Not a lot of momentum, not a lot of boost. Does path over the small pads well, and now Evoh again with a straight line dribble. Still gets it off of an angle, though. You know, if nothing else, he's keeping Daniel guessing, because you never know if he's going to go left or right of the goal. He's just, first touch, straight down the middle. It's unconventional, but the power he's generating is fantastic.
Well, that's one of the first things I got told not to do when I'm playing ones, is dribble straight down the line. But Evoh is not your conventional 1v1 player. The wave dash did not work for him that time. So plenty of time to go and claim the boost and the ball. And he's just waiting for Daniel to commit. Still 1 goal down, but Evoh's playing this very nicely. Daniel finally gets rid of it, but will he get demoed? No, not off that hit.
So Evoh playing that counter-punching style again, but this time without a goal lead. And this has been the main issue that he's had today. Too many times he's trailing. Oh, what a finish by Daniel. Evoh drops a nice shot in the chat, and he's not wrong. Daniel had the smallest opening here while Evoh's grabbing a 12 pad, and he just slots it. Top bins.
That's 2 of Daniel's goals now that he's hit as perfectly as he can on the extremities of the goal. He does not miss all that often. Put himself in a very awkward position, though, to try and play this one, and Evoh might have just spotted his chance. Does fake the challenge. I mean, Daniel's starting to lose respect for those, though. Evoh has faked that challenge every single time, and Daniel does not care anymore.
Yeah, Daniel's been mixing in the immediate shots and flicks, but Evoh thought that was hitting off the post a little bit more than it did. It just barely grazed the post on the way in. So Evoh probably trying to go for a post pinch. Didn't have the option with the way the ball ended up.
Evoh off the wall. 3 goals is what he needs. The last time he was trailing, Daniel ended up running away with it towards the end. Not the wave dash that Daniel was after. So Evoh will have another go at this.
It feels like Daniel is starting to separate himself from any kind of comeback. I've cursed him.
Evoh's back. Immediate.
It feels like Evoh's back, is what I was going to say. What a goal on the turn. Daniel just drives past the ball, of course. Sorry, Daniel fans. I promise I don't do it on purpose.
I'm not one for like the Rocket League superstitions, but it is crazy the amount of times that this happens.
Oh,
is it just because we
this.
spend so much time complimenting people?
Look
That's
at
now been
this.
1.
I wish I said it. You know the last diagonal kickoff, they both went really, really wide on the outside trying to push it through. Look at Evoh. Goal side hook kickoff. Completely counters him. Go back and watch the replay if you don't believe me. The kickoff before this, that's what happened, and Evoh's noticed it as well. That's been open in a lot of the NA1's matches recently.
Especially a lot of these players wanting quite wild game states after the kickoff. Daniel's gone so early. I think he's going to back down from this. He certainly has. Over to the wall. Daniel's trying to stick with. Doesn't quite maintain the momentum. And that's a lovely spot, actually, for Evoh. That first drops it down. And that was still so close to being stopped.
Look at the control by Evoh, meticulously advancing. And then scooping the reset up and over Daniel, who can't have been expecting a top shelf shot from that position. 4-4. Just a few seconds ago, it looked like Daniel was pulling away. Now Evoh, very close. Dangerously close to tying the series for the second time this week. Like I mentioned earlier, he won 4 in a row after going 2 down last time the 2 played. And he's doing it again. What a mind game.
From 4-1 down to 5-4 up. Evoh proving that he can fight back from behind. And he's doing it in different ways for every single goal. But it will all go back, Johnny, to that first one. To the curse, quote unquote, where Daniel just went past the ball. He gave up a freebie, and Evoh kept on rolling.
I mean, it really is that simple. 3-goal leads in 1v1 are about the same as a 1-goal lead in 3v3. That's how close the game is. And these games have been low scoring, which has made it feel more helpless to come back from 3 goals down. But it's still just a 3-goal lead. It can disappear very quickly. Daniel with the zero brain challenge, which when you pull it out at this level is actually a 300 IQ move, because it's so blatant that your opponent overthinks it, doesn't think you're gonna actually go for the ball. Evoh's in a great spot here though. Boost advantage, possession, surely soon to be his. How is Daniel gonna come back here?
So Evoh plays this. He's like a computer able to just calculate risk management on every play. He knows how much he can invest. Picks up the boost. Daniel's going to have to try and play us, and Evoh's exactly where he wants to be. Picks his spots, doesn't get demoed again. And now Evoh's really low on boost, so he might not be able to challenge this. He tried!
Once again, Evoh uses his boost to try and get a demo, and Daniel has to retreat. And what does Daniel do? Backboard double. As soon as the opening came up. But it's all been about dodging the demos for Daniel. Another massive dodge in the midfield leads to a tie game.
Evoh just went all in. If he gets it, that's as good as game over. He can pick up the bottom right away. But now we go backboard. Devo. I mean, not Devo. Daniel scored one of these earlier. He went for the Devo. Oh, he's actually late.
Daniel misread the bounce. It's in. It's actually in for Devo. Reincarnated.
Well, he wasn't able to read the Devo this time around. I was going for the Devo off the backboard. I also just messed his name up entirely.
I didn't realize that we combine these two, you get Devo, but Evo's ahead.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, I'm actually, you know what, the worst place, I didn't even figure it out on the second time around. 1 second left. Daniel's already got a hold of the ball. He's got angle to work with. This is where he scored so many times previously. What? He put it wide!
He should have got his spec savers. Where did he think the goal was? What? I promise you guys it's not scripted. I promise it's not scripted.
He's put that posted in every single time.
Make it a little less obvious, mate. I know we want game 4. I know we want game 5 tight. For goodness sake. Where was he going? Benial's back at the worst possible time. And we're running back the last match these two played against each other. Evoh lost games 1 and 2, but then he won 4 straight. And it's happening again. Daniel had that one in the bag almost. I say almost. He had it under control, shall we say. 4-1 advantage. And then Evoh just started clawing back. Daniel missed a backboard read. It was a difficult one. He thought the ball was going to bounce down. It didn't. Evoh scored in the counter. And then Daniel misses a flick after perfectly getting the ball in the air with just 4 seconds on the clock. I mean, the kickoff strategy was brilliant. He just drove straight through the ball. Got it up in the air. But where was he going? I don't know where he thought the goal was on that last play.
I'm struggling here, Johnny. Okay, I'm struggling.
Daniel in his own comms looked devastated. Yeah, I mean, he just kind of got a bit discombobulated, I think. He saw the gap, and he was probably thinking low 50 or, you know, mind game or something on the approach. And then suddenly the top corner's just open, and he panicked, changed the plan, and didn't execute. Clearly. But okay, we've got a best of 3 from here on. Winner makes the grand final against Diaz. Will it be defending champion Daniel or Evoh, the dark horse, who's upsetting everybody?
Right, well, I think I'm back to being human again after that. Daniel, again, needs to just keep this one up and running. He's done well throughout such large periods of this one. But Evoh's defense is going to be so frustrating to go against. That's another good angle. I do like Daniel when he can open that up. That, I feel, works very, very well for him, but he's got to do this a little bit further back, I feel. This is too close to the goal.
Well, Evo's going to feel very good about where he is right now in the series. He's bumping Daniel out the way. That's going to be 1-0. Daniel can't get back to that. And he's motionless as the ball rolls in. I'm getting a bit worried about Daniel here. He's in a tie series. It's dead even until that goal. But it feels like momentum has shifted so far.
Yeah, that's the sort of one where it's very easy to point to and just go, it just all fell apart from here.
That's the moment. What do you think he'll be more annoyed by, the 0-second play or missing the read on the backward
I would just blame you the whole way for that, by the way. Like, if I want to just assign blame to anything, and I don't want to blame myself, I'd be like, yeah, Johnny said I was doing great, and...
He was. I stand by that.
Yeah, he was. He was doing great, and then he went flying past the ball. And from there on out, not so much.
Yeah, the thing is, it was a tough bounce, because if that bounces off the backward, it's a pixel different, it can go down. But it hit the ball flat. Daniel didn't see it coming. And suddenly his confident approach didn't look too smart. But, oh wait, Evoh nearly scored the accidental dunk there. Daniel does not concede it. Yeah, I think that'll annoy Daniel more than missing the flick of 0 seconds. The misread will probably irritate him more. But he's got to put that to the back of his mind. The series is dead even. Daniel scored to tie this. Evoh actually misses on a pretty straightforward back wall bounce there. I'm not sure why he went up on the back wall there. Maybe thought he could get up the wall and catch it and didn't change his mind too soon or soon enough. But these guys are definitely making mistakes. The pressure's rising.
Oh, that bounce.
What?
Oh my goodness. All right, there's your tilt up.
What?
There, if you want to pick another tilty moment, that is exactly it. How has Daniel not even hit? He got flipped backwards.
Combo unlocked. Evoh just bumped Daniel and then bounced off the bump into centering the ball to himself and a perfect landing to score the open net.
All according to plan.
Just unreal. Evoh is in control all of a sudden. Oh, can he get back to this? That's on target. Evoh cannot get there. It's 2-2. Daniel spots the long shot.
Yeah, he just got there just in time, and for the first time, Evoh found the demo, but he didn't find the rest of what he wanted on this. So every single time Evoh goes demo chasing, or at least finds something resembling a demo, Daniel actually is the one that's getting the positive result. Another delayed kickoff here from Evoh. He's got a nice spot. He's got enough boost. Fakes the first time shot. Daniel plays back, and it's actually just rolled straight to Daniel, who might be able to play directly from this. Steals the 100 instead. Cuts inward, but maybe cut inward a little bit too much. He's got a lot of work to do, and Evoh gets back in time.
Another knife edge game between these two.
Of course.
The scorelines remain so low. Oh, Daniel's completely panic flipped. What is happening?
He's got to stop, man. He's got to chill.
He just panic flipped. I mean, he probably realized that he couldn't get up to that, but flipping away didn't obviously do anything positive for him. This is crazy. I've never seen Daniel like this in a Salt Mine elimination match. He's always been ice cold, but now suddenly Evoh has got inside his head. That's on target. That's just in. Daniel, clearly beaten to the ball, goes anyway, and Evoh is up too.
I mean, if you Daniel, it's falling apart. It's slipping through his fingers. And the worst part is, he can do something about it. A lot of it has been his own fault. He's got the reset. Yeah, this needs to be relaxed. And the worst part is he's playing maybe the worst person to play when you're playing maybe worse than your usual level. Because these defensive styles are tilting. You feel like you should have more of it. Everything is going your way. You've got all the possession, and you're still not winning.
Oh, you're joking. What a save by Evoh. I mean, that was executed so well by Daniel. That was so difficult to save. And Evoh still makes the stop. Daniel up in the air again, trying to go over the head of him, and what a finish. Double taps it in with almost no boost from a negative angle. Flip reset way above crossbar height with work to be done. Daniel with a huge goal for his mental.
So one goal in it. Daniel has had moments like this in the last 5 minutes, and then it falls apart quickly afterwards. Can he get the follow-up play? Can he take this to a tie game? He's dying for it! And that's on target again!
This is just crazy. Just when you think that Daniel can take back control, Evoh turns and just sends it. Daniel thought Evoh would back off. He's been the goalkeeper today. He's been full shadowing. He's been full retreating a lot, but not this time. Evoh sends a challenge and it works. It catches Daniel by surprise. He's going to get another one here. Kick-off possession for Evoh. And Daniel's problems are only increasing.
You can just see the panic the entire time. Daniel knows that time is ticking away. It's just getting worse and worse and worse. We had timeouts in these 1v1s. I'm sure Daniel would love to take one. It's just another save. And Daniel's too close to take the shot. Bounces over his head. And we go next. Daniel's off to try and find a placebo.
That is unreal. What a stop by Evoh. And then getting back to the ball as well to clear it. 3 games in a row. Daniel is on the brink of being eliminated from Salt Mine 4.
And Evoh is making this consistent. We've never seen anyone play this style with this level of consistency. I keep saying this is the style that's great until you come up against the actual winner of the tournament.
You know, if Evoh can win this and make it into the final, he will have had the hardest strength of schedule possible in this main event. First match, he played Daniel and beat him. Second match, he played Diaz, beat him as well. Now he plays Daniel again, he's beating him again. Diaz waits in the final. Literally the only 3 players left in the tournament. Diaz hasn't played anyone else. It can't be harder, and he is making it happen. You know, a lot of players would have come in, seen this match, seen this bracket, and seen these matchups, and thought, well, what's the point? Why am I unlucky? Why did the Salt Mine seeding committee hate me? But Evoh doesn't care. He's just winning, and he's doing it his own way. He's doing it by tilting some of the best players in the world, and now he's got 2 chances. He leads in a series that started off completely in Daniel's favor.
It's the way he said, like, half the saves he gets are pinches off the post or the crossbar, which means there's no way you can put that on that net where it's actually not in Evoh's favor. Oh,
it's the Danmobile.
Oh no!
Oh yes. I think you mean oh yes.
No, because you look at this and you think Cuxit. I look at this and I think Cool Cole.
No, I think Daniel. This is just Daniel. He could do this. I think he can do this, Shogun. What a switch up. When it's all on the line, he brings out the Danmobile, and he's 1-0 up. What a perfect strategy.
All right, let's go for the positives. Number 1, you literally cannot demo a Batmobile. It is impossible. Number 2, the flicks. They're definitely hitting the crossbar, maybe hitting the ceiling.
See, the thing is, Daniel's realized that Evoh's downloaded his play. He can get a read on him the majority of the time. What does he do? He brings out the Batmobile. Now, not even Daniel can read what he's doing. How is Evoh supposed to know? 1-0 for Daniel early, and he sets up shop in no man's land. Of course he does. This is going to be a tricky car for Evoh to read, but can Daniel play the mechanics well? Has he put any time into the Batmobile recently?
He's trying to figure it out, but he's off to the wall. Yeah, Evoh's going to let this happen.
Perfect.
Okay, no, we are in no man's land. Nobody knows what's about to happen. He goes first time. And Evoh read that there would be no flip reset. I'll point out, the flip reset on this car...
Impossible.
Number 1 is impossible. If it actually does land, it is a catapult.
It does. Oh, what a save. Look at Daniel. Like you said, impossible to bump. Evoh foolishly tried to bump the Batmobile. Misses the flick by an absolute mile.
All right. Well,
all right. I don't think he's got a single error in the Batmobile.
That is actually, you know what I said, Cool Cole.
Single error. I think he's got 0 hours past 2 years in this car.
That actually was the Cool Cole flick right there. that one looked real familiar.
But he's still winning. It doesn't matter. So Evoh has to respect it, because the range now that Daniel's revealed is that his flick could go nowhere, or it could break the backboard and anything in between.
We
so
need
what
to
does Evoh do?
evacuate Manfield. These eggs are not safe.
Anything could happen next time Daniel flicks the ball. Oh, what a finish! How did Evoh slot that? Daniel had pretty good coverage, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah, this is the first time that we've really seen Evoh add the angles to this, and he just hit that so well. It's a very long car that he is up against. It's a very flat car that he's up against. Evoh's
very
still...
long, flat car.
you might put them both together and come up with the most annoying hitbox to go against in a 1v1.
But he's looking in the match. It's not a blowout, which I was a little bit worried about for just a few seconds. If
Daniel wins a challenge, I'm out of here.
I have seen him bring the Batmobile out once and just lose 9-0 and then switch again. So he's done it in the elimination game. Oh dear, that's not looking good. That's on target for Evoh. Daniel with a foolish drive challenge. I mean, if you look at the angles here, what happens if Evoh flips into the ball? Every single bounce is good for him. I don't know why Daniel would just drive into that. He just made it worse by hitting the ball. He could have just turned and it would have been fine. But,
but that's what every Batmobile player does. He knows the concept.
Look out! This could go anywhere, Shogun. Daniel's lining up another flick. Fakes out this time. See the panic in Evoh. He knew that if he waited, it was going to be bad news. But it's on target, and Daniel's not double jumped.
I think he realized if he did double jump, it was still in. He was getting to it too late.
I think he might have been able to save this.
Oh,
yeah, he could have. He tried to backflip, but yeah, he could have probably saved that with a perfect double jump or a backflip, but he would have needed to fly higher. Evoh is just 2 minutes away from the Salt Mine 4 NA final, and he's got a chance to make it 4-1. Can't do so, but Daniel's boostless.
He's gone for the 100. Evoh does steal it. The one thing that's really annoying actually when you do play Batmobile is the recoveries. They're not as fluid as when you play in that octane.
Oh, hold on.
Can get a little bit wobbly on occasion, but he has got boost. All right, Daniel, I've got to see something wild. These have been going too easy every single time. He's in the air. Oh, okay.
A two-touch air dribble, look out.
I'm sorry, just forward flip. Use the flick. Go for the Batmobile, good old-fashioned.
Well, he's running out of time. Just one goal to his name. That being said, he only scored a goal in one of the Fennec games as well. Oh, what a save. Daniel. Oh no, if only he was allowed to switch car mid-game.
I would take, you know what, if it was in the rules, I would take the one goal I would concede to quit out and go and get a different one.
I just don't know what I'm watching. I mean, I feel like I've seen him flick the ball directly into a wall today when he's trying to hit the net, and now he's just own goaled when there were so many ways to save that. He did the hard part. Oh, great save. I mean, talk about sandwiching two brilliant saves with some disgusting own goal filling. Now Evoh's faked out what could have been a goal for Daniel. Can he come back? He's got a minute and 13 seconds. Flip reset for Daniel.
Oh baby.
He's got to score here. He just jumped on the spot.
I think Daniel's scared of the power he holds in his hands. These are all fakes.
I think I take it back. I don't believe in the Batmobile anymore. Can I take it back?
Listen, some people are not ready for the power. Here we go. Use it. Use it. Stop faking everything.
Yeah, Evoh kind of figured him out, I reckon. I think he knows that Daniel doesn't.
Of course Evoh's figured him out.
I think Evoh's figured out that Daniel's not feeling too comfortable in the Batmobile and he's just waiting. GG's. Daniel tried the pocket pick Batmobile and it has backfired about as badly as anyone has ever seen a pocket pick backfire. But well played to Evoh. He has thoroughly earned this. And he is one match away from completing the most stacked NA1's tournament win that anyone could possibly draw up. 2 wins over Daniel, 1 win over Diaz, 1 more win over Diaz needed.
And we need to go, I mean, as sort of wacky wild as the last game really went, we need to go back to how this started. I mean, Evoh was struggling. He was so sketchy in that opening game especially. And then the mental fortitude to see it's going against you and you just go, oh, yeah, I'll figure it out. It'll be fine. And it actually just was. Just out of nowhere, sorted himself, and nothing was getting past him without it being an insane play.
We've got to remember that Evoh did just win 3 games in a row against Daniel's Fennec, so Daniel thought, okay, this isn't working. I need to throw something weird at him because he is just playing really well right now and he's got a good read on me. He's not going to read my Batmobile. Let me play the Batmobile. I mean, when you think about it at the surface level, it doesn't sound like a bad idea. The problem is it killed Daniel's confidence. He did not have confidence to actually flick the ball after that failed flick. He didn't actually flip into the ball again. He just tried to...
There wasn't a single flick.
Everything. That one bad flick, it absolutely killed his confidence with the car. So there was no coming back from that. But well played, Evoh. He is on an absolute tear right now. So he...
now if Diaz picks the Batmobile,
Yeah, I don't think that's going to work.
No, that's not going to work whatsoever.
I don't believe in it.
That actually will
goodness.
start just hitting the ceiling every single time. Like, there will be no control on those backboard reads.
I just don't know what I'm watching anymore. I mean, it's been brilliant. And we've got one more match to go. So if you guys are enjoying what you're seeing, then stick around because the grand final is coming up next. It's going to be Diaz against Evoh. One half of the final that we expected and another half that no one expected. So let's see it.